Yeah, your brother would expect to have him back. And he's gonna join us.
I called him this morning, he had a meeting on the east side, so he couldn't make it today.
Almost gave you 2 extra ones. Well, he appreciated that.
I'm getting.
I looked at the Kuwait. People don't talk to, but we want to go get it. I think everybody else got it. We don't get it.
Get rid of that quick.
There's always my son. That won't get back to me. Thank you, Carlos. Me too. I never had any luck. Yeah, you got my own. Yeah, got yours. You didn't buy yours? Yeah. Look at it. Look at it.
You thought I'm gonna do a fundraiser.
Oh, we got it.
Gabriel, he's delirious. Someone wants to eat. Did I meet you at the fair one that you were repairing on the next seat? The yearly one? Yeah. I've got one time.
It's doing the same. It's doing the same thing, Susan. It's hello. Can I talk to you? It's doing the same thing with your computer as it did with mine. It's not showing. It's not showing anything. It's not. I don't know if it must be something they did with the TV or something, or we're just going to have to go.
We see it here, we can't see it there.
Yeah.
Usually it's a source issue, but they try both of them.
Yeah.
What to do.
Well, we just have to go without the slides. I mean,
Zoom, we can't have Zoom. We
can't.
can play the slides.
No, I can have Zoom. We just won't show up there.
Right.
And they won't, they can see the slides. We won't be able to see them up there. That's the issue.
You have a hard copy of the slides?
There we go. All right, we're in.
No. Yeah, you used to work for it, yeah.
All right. Oh, I've got it here. Still don't, it'll show the slides, just can't see everything else. I don't know. Hey, Jim? Jim, can you hear us? Can you see us? Galeris, can you hear us and see us? Galeris, you can see us? You can hear us? Okay, everybody's good. Okay, we can't see
Yes,
everything on the screen. Up
Yes,
there.
but you're frozen.
All right, now that's why I don't know what you all are seeing. So
We're seeing you.
you see me?
Yeah, I see you. I don't see any slides or anything, but I see you. I see all the pictures, all the people, but I don't see any PowerPoint or anything.
All right, so here's the issue. Not recognizing. It was an unplugged that camera. That's what happened. There's a don't pull on that thing again. You unplug it.
All right, I'm gonna call the meeting to order, please. Welcome to the Science House of the World. And I'd like to call on line the tour invitation.
God, thank you we're all thankful for the good health and all that we can be here. We want to thank you for all that we have and hope that we can, the Alliance is a service organization. We want to be servants and we want to have the proper attitude to serve you and to serve this city, to serve our community and all. We ask all of this in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Lane Levon. And Lan Ernie, would you like to lead us in the pledge, please?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Don't you lions roar, don't you hear those lions roar. You can hear them roaring every week as a beat and round for more. Don't you hear those lions roar, their snarling, rumbling roar. So roar, lions, bang, bang, bang. Hear those lions, hear those lions, hear those lions roar.
Tell them online to the next we will get it into.
We can't see the people online today.
They can't see us.
Oh,
They can't see us, but we can hear them. They can hear us, correct? They can hear us.
You guys can hear us, right? Yeah, but the problem is we're working off this camera on the computer rather than that one.
Sorry, we have technical difficulties today, but welcome everyone who's on Zoom from home. Okay, for introducing our guests here today, we have Mr. Gabriel. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
My name is Gabriel Olaye.
I go by Gable, shorter. And I actually was born here in El Paso, but grew up on the other side. Juarez. I was illegal in Mexico. So I had to self-report when I was 17. And it was not funny. I can laugh about it now. Back then it was not fun. Anyway, I got my degree here in civil engineering. I practiced for 5 years. Then I was invited to go do missionary work, and I accepted the invitation. And I did 14 years of missionary work in different places. And when I finished, I was in Los Angeles. So I decided to stay there. And in total, I've been gone for 40 years. The reason I came back is to take care of my mom. My mom is 101 right now. So I'm gonna be here at service. And yesterday I was invited by Dolores to come here. And so here I am.
Now, I remember at the parade again, isn't that nice? And Dolores is on Zoom today. And so I know Dolores is happy you're here. So would you like to introduce your guest?
This is Glenna. Last month. And she's like my young uncle. She does all the marketing for my program at Fort Bliss, so we're ready to talk about it.
There you go. Thank you. I guess we should say also welcome to Lion Doug, the first real meeting he's attended.
Besides
The installation. It was not like our regular routine Friday meeting, but we're glad to be here. We're glad. All right, so our health and welfare. Want to say thank you to all the veterans for their service. It's been Veterans Day parade yesterday, and this day was Veterans Day. If all of our veterans would like to stand to be recognized here today. Okay, so we want to thank everybody who participated in the parade yesterday. Lion Kennedy, Rich Sherman, Lion John Ferry, Lion Brian, Lion Lamont, Lion Delaris, and Zoe all walked in the parade yesterday. It was a very beautiful day, very beautiful ceremony after the parade. So we really enjoyed it. Thanks for setting that up, Ryan. Another announcement is our Tell Sister needs stuff to raffle. So if you have anything laying around your house that's in good condition, you think anybody would like to have it, please bring it. Give it to Ryan Sandy, and she'll fill it out as she sees necessary. Lion Lamont, if you were looking for a wheeljack for our coach, we give a little gold one. Report.
I'm still looking for a pair of heavyweight wheeljack. Should be 6'7". Need to move the boat sideways so we can get in and out of that person. Other than that, everything is coming along good. We have the price ready to inspect. Most of the boat is finished, outside of good cleaning and a little bit more of red decoration. The front is just about ready to go on. The tractor is in. And that's all there is to it. It's coming very good. John Terry is going to work on the last the letters tomorrow and get us finished up so they can have a sign. We had to lengthen the signs out from 12 feet, 17 feet in order to get happiness is in the front of it. But the letters turned out actually beautiful and the signs are inside. That's about it.
A lot happened this week on the floor. We're very excited with the tractor, and that's a big deal. Thank you very much.
Thankfully, we got one.
Yes, thankfully we got a tractor, so we're really happy about getting that. And so we'll be working on the front and back a couple hours here and there as we find time. So we're still selling pecans. Everybody's doing a really good job selling pecans, our fundraiser. I have pecans in my car here. I know several people coming to pick them up here today. So keep selling pecans. They're $11 a bag for £1. Anytime. We need some pecans. Entrance fees were waived again. Right now, for people joining our club, the entrance fees are waived through December 31st. Well, yesterday they voted to waive the entrance fees through June 22nd. That's a really good time to join our club. Really good time to join our club. Entrance fees are waived. Entrance fees are waived. By that Lines International. I have a check here to present to Brian for the Alzheimer's Association from the Apostle Gonzalez Lions Foundation.
Great. Wow.
Let's go with a water.
So the Denham Foundation is giving our team $1,000 for the Alzheimer's loss.
Trust them with that much money?
Thank you.
So Brian, is that who was that?
It certainly does.
We're gonna have our place now,
We are.
but we don't get anything for it. Pat on the back. Everybody pat yourself on the back.
I get a t-shirt.
Next announcement is November 19th. We're gonna be meeting at Monte Vista Senior Living Community, November 19th. We're gonna have a Thanksgiving meal. So don't come here on November 19th, go to Monte Vista Senior Living Committee where we did on Belvedere, where we met before. Okay, so occasionally we're gonna go there and have a nice meal. Any other announcements that I have missed? Anybody has? Yes, ma'am.
That we're looking for a Santa Claus outfit, someone to be Santa Claus for the 21st.
Thank you.
Either or.
Yes.
But we really need a Santa Claus. We've got an outfit that's even better. Okay?
That's
So
right.
anyone knows of someone, or if you'd like to do it, please let us know.
Thank you. I'm gonna repeat it for our people at home. That we need a Santa Claus and a Santa Claus outfit for December 21st for our Christmas party at the Salvation Army Family Center. Does he have a Santa Claus costume outfit? Well, look around. Always, Rick, you have one. Okay, so no further ado, I'd like to ask Brian to come up and introduce the speaker.
All right. Our speaker today is Douglas Piltz, who is the Transition Services Manager for the Transition Assistance Program, to include retirement services and transition services for the First Army Division in Fort Bliss. He oversees the congressionally mandated task for every soldier prior to them leaving the military. It's new stuff that didn't exist when I was a soldier. When I was thought about getting out, and when I finally did retire, these programs didn't exist. It's great that they have them now. He oversees, well, he has an extensive history of providing leadership to highly successful organizations. Prior to being the Transition Services Manager, he served 7 years as the Mission Support Element Operations Chief for the First Armored Division, A3 in Fort Bliss, which is where Doug and I met. We were both working there as civilians following our Army careers. He served 33 years in the Air Defense Artillery Branch with the Army, and his contributions include deployments to Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Israel, Turkey, Poland, Germany, and Korea. His assignments in the Army include Command Sergeant Major of the Air Defense Artillery School at Fort Bliss, Command Sergeant Major of the 69th Air Defense Artillery Brigade in Giebelstadt, Germany, the Senior Enlisted Advisor of the Air Defense Artillery Branch at the Human Resources Command in Alexandria, Virginia, and an instructor for the Department of Military Instruction at West Point, New York. He has received the Commander's Awards for Civil Service, and he's got numerous military awards. One of them he's I won't list them. And he holds a master's degree and bachelor's degree in human resource management from Ashford University. So, Douglas Piltz.
Well, first, Susan, Brian, thank you for inviting me to this. Like Brian said, I'm the transition service manager for the whole installation. I work actually for the command general. I run his program. And what my job is to get every soldier before they transition out of the military a job. That's what I do. This is probably the best job I've had for being in the Army. So anyways, next slide, Brian. I want to give you a big overview of the TAP program, what we do at Fort Bliss and what it is going on. First, I'd like to say that everybody don't realize this, to give you a history of the Army. Only 3% of the whole population of the United States is eligible to serve our country. 3%. And out of the 3%, only about 0.5 actually serve. So everybody who serves in the military is a very small number who serves the program. So I just wanted to say that because that's what we're doing, and we want to make sure we take care of ourselves. Or any, actually, I take care of things like Air Force, Marines, Navy, or they can come to my service. And with that said, it's for Fort Bliss and everything else with County in general, readiness is #1 priority. That means we want to make sure they're ready to go or whatever they got to do. So this is part of that. If we can take care of the soldiers on the out when they're coming out as they're going in, they won't have to worry about this with their family. And with that said, our tax dollars I use, unemployment rate, our unemployment rate for El Paso or the installation is the best in the Army. We just rated that. We're the best unemployment rate in the Army. And what that means to us is the training dollars for the Army comes out of that budget, our operational dollars. So every time a soldier goes on unemployment, the Army is paying them out of Fort Bliss's funds. And so they can't actually do training. They can't go to their NDC rotations, National Training Center down in urban California or out at Fort Post to do their training dollars, and also go other places to training, or even go to the field exercises if they don't have dollars. Just let you know, out of that, since 2011, the Army changed from ACAP way back when, the kind of Brian and we went through was, I hate to say it wasn't a very good program, but we went to TAP in 2011, and what it is actually it tells the soldiers, actually we transition soldiers, and I'll go more in depth at in a little bit with all my slides. It tells you everything what we do for our soldiers. But what I want to do is the unemployment compensation in 2011 for the whole Army was $515 million that was paid in that compensation. As you can see, as every year goes, we kept going down. And before the COVID-19, it was 2,000 or 72 million, which we saved the Army $440 million. This program has done. However, with COVID, it went up a little bit. Last year was like 111,000, and right now it's about 89 million this year. We haven't got to fourth quarter, so and just to let you know, we go over fiscal years from October to September, so it's not a calendar year. One can attest to that. Because every time I tell her a fiscal year, calendar year, she gets mixed up. So it's October to September. So, anyways, yeah, but she's not the only one who does that. I just want to put that out. Next slide. I'm located on Fort Bliss in building 503. We are a one-stop shop now. Before I got there, we didn't have that. I have all transit services, retirement service, and transit assistance program all under me. It used to be just transit assistance program. That way, soldiers had to go other places on this place to do that. Now we made it in one building, like we branded it in one building, so they all can do it in one place. These are all organizations that have partnerships with. If you didn't know, I get phone calls every day. To hire transition service every day. If I had enough 10 or 15 around my desk, I'd hand them the phone and actually get a job over the phone because of that. They want this soldier now with a resume. Just so you know, when I first got out of the Army, Brian too, I didn't even know how to write a resume. As a matter of fact, I got my first job without a resume. It's just because of people who knew me. I hate to say that, it's the internet. That's how I got my first job. Now it's almost, if you have a resume, you start with this job. But anyway, just like these are organizations we have actually partnered with Chamber of Commerce. Everybody here probably knows Chamber of Commerce. Air Armed Forces one. I go to a meeting every month. Also, we have the business director development I go to also as a business here in El Paso. Just so you know, as I go down a little bit more, the Chamber always wants to know how can we get more soldiers to stay in Fort Bliss, or I mean in El Paso community. There's only 16% of our soldiers stay in El Paso. How many? And I said, it has to be jobs. I tell them jobs, and Tommy Gonzalez, talk to him about this all the time. It's also about, he has to fix it. He said, yeah, I got to fix that. Get jobs and more companies here. Amazon's finally got here. That's going to be a big place for us also. However, like I tell them most of them, and you might not agree with me, but I've been here doing this job now 5 years, but El Paso is a telemarketing city. That means most of our jobs are telemarketing. Soldiers get jobs. Soldiers can't live on $750 an hour. That's what they can't do. But that's what I'm just saying. We got to get more 500 companies here to support our soldiers. Oh, not just our soldiers, but their economy. Next slide, please. If you have any questions at the time, just ask. Next slide.
It's a little
Take a
slow.
while. But anyways, but I want to throw this up. This is how many soldiers we have transferred out of the Army every year. 19,000 soldiers transferred last year. Fiscal year 21. In 20 of 19,000 also.
That's just a Fort Bliss.
That's just Fort Bliss. That's just Fort Bliss. I have 35,000 soldiers in Fort Bliss, so about a third of Fort Bliss transfers out of the Army every year. And with that said, in my building, I have about 4,000 to 5,000 soldiers come to my building every month. We're pretty busy. And with that said, I don't have like 25 counselors that take care of all these soldiers all the time, including a couple of my transit service specialists who are government side, the rest of my contracts. I just want to throw that out. It's a big number. People don't realize how much traffic and the community of El Paso, they can lock on to some of that great talent of soldiers and get some other companies here, a lot more soldiers there. And like I said, out of that, not out of 16, that's about 3,000 to 4,000 soldiers out of 19,000 that stays here in El Paso. With that said, most of them are retirees who get here, and, like me and Brian, I'd say, had a house, so we stayed here. And also they offered me a job, so sorry for me, gave me a job. And then the other soldiers who got family members here. But we're trying to get some of the other, there's lots of things to do in El Paso to keep soldiers here. However, the job market has to be there because you can't support a family outside of 50,000. I hate to say that. You just can't. And most kids now coming in are married and have 1 or 2 children. So a lot of them stay in our next slide. With that said, if soldiers go through the program, if you look at the first bullet, 35% of them actually re-enlist in the Army. The reason why, we can actually sit down with them and do a budget. We actually lay that out for the budget. And in the Army, they get medical, they get separate actions, they get housing. Well, that all goes away. And when we do a budget with them, they'll go back and actually re-enlist for. Now, Army came up with a program right now that you can actually come back and re-enlist for a year and let them get ready to actually transition so they can transfer better out of the Army. And also the Army just came up with, the Sergeant Major Army just came up with a new program that actually lets the soldier, we didn't have when we were in, that a soldier can actually take a deferment out of the Army for 1 or 2 years and come back in the Army, but he has to serve, if he gets out from your 1 year, he has to serve for 2 more years. If he gets out for 2 years, he has to serve for 4 years. But actually, because we're learning, well, the Sergeant Major Army and the Army has learned that a lot of soldiers, when they come into the Army, they don't know what they want to do. If they're first enlisted, they're kind of up in there. Should I stay in the Army? Should I not? I don't like it. I don't like this or whatever. But they'll let them go back and do another job in the civilian world, and then they decide, hey, I want to come back to the Army, and they will. They didn't have that before. Usually, when we got out of the Army, it was very hard to get back to the Army. A lot of recruiters, because they want new soldiers, they don't want soldiers who got out. They didn't come back. So, just let you know on the program. Also, with that said. Everybody who comes through the program, they're supposed to start the program, no way mandated by Congress. It's a mandated by Congress program. So every soldier has to go through it, even if they're getting out early, which is a chapter of involuntary separation. I'll talk about that a little bit more. But every soldier who goes through our program, and they start at usually 365 days, it's minimum 365 days, 1 year before they get out of the Army, they must register and come through our program. That's a requirement. However, does that always happen? No, trust me, I'm just doing that every day. I commanding general monthly and quarterly, and I division sergeant major every month. In reference to that, it doesn't happen. However, when I tell the commander about that, I said, if you break the law, what happens? You go to jail. Well, commanders, you're breaking the law. It's federal mandated law that they're supposed to have every soldier in here by 365 days. And the commanding general told us commanders stop breaking the law. So that was kind of neat when I briefed them on. But if they go to our program, almost everybody, well, not almost, everybody who goes to our program starts far enough out, will get a job if they want to. That's the bottom line. The only way they won't get a job if they don't. And it's like I said, unemployment compensation, that's why we're at the lowest in the arm. But anyway, just let you know that. And like I said, before that, the requirement for the installation also, when they deploy and redeploy, I'm supposed to brief the units on this program. That's a requirement also by regulation. I don't have to. Next slide. But these are requirements. Every brigade, every company commander. I actually wrote all the. Hopefully, I wrote all the acronyms out because the Army has so many acronyms, and I'm trying to write them out and tell them at the same time. But company commanders, battery commanders, brigade commanders, above. This is a requirement. They have to do this. the commanding general has a policy that every soldier will go through a policy. He writes a policy telling every soldier they got to be in there. Every commander's got to abide by that policy. With that said, every brigade commander, company commander, battery commander, battalion commander also is supposed to have a policy letter saying they're supposed to go through the program. And with that said, when I go brief everybody, every soldier, when they're in the window, 18-month window is when the soldier, before the Army gets started, minimum 18 months. They can start 18 months, but like I said, at 365 days, they must be. That's a requirement. And then retirees got 24 months. They start 24 months with the program. So with that said, every soldier, when they get in that window, they're supposed to get a memorandum from the company commander, the leadership or whatever, and tell them they're supposed to go to the program. And when I bring that up to everybody, they don't even know what I'm talking about. And they're supposed to know that. That's in regulation. So that's why I go brief also. So in reference to all the installation, I did a lot of briefings, not just this one here. I appreciate, like I said, coming out to let you know what we do at Fort Bliss and give you an idea of what we do for school. Next slide. The regulation that covers this program is actually Army regulation. So it's not just thrown out there. It's actually Army Regulation 600-81. And what it does is also the Veterans Opportunity Work Act. That's a requirement. And CRS, which is Career Readiness Standards, every soldier has to do that before they get on. And if they don't, each commander actually at the capstone, which I'll talk to you in a minute, they have to sign this if their career readiness standards, if there are career readiness standards or not. And if they're not, they got a reason why they're not, because that's a requirement you're supposed to go to. And a lot of our early releases, and I'll talk about that in a minute, when they get out the Army, a lot of times they don't have the opportunity to go this, that what we call warm handle, actually get phone numbers or where that thing has to be somewhere else. Every soldier has, when they get out the Army, they got actually 6 months after they get out of the Army to can go use the program from here to another base or wherever you want to go. If you're a retiree or whether it's like I said before, we just changed the name, so it's a lot of things come to you anytime. Just let you know, any soldier, any veteran who's got out of the Army, I don't care if it's 6 months, a year, 12 months, they come see me. We've done that here. I'll tell you a little story. I play golf. You know that about Brian knows. But I was on the golf course not too long ago, and a soldier who'd been out of the Army 5 years moved from Massachusetts to here at Fort Bliss for his wife because of medical reasons. Didn't have a job. They just said him I wanted to. I said, "You want to join us?" He joined up with us. We started talking. He was a veteran. He got out about 5 years ago. He was a sergeant when he got out. And I asked him, "What do you want to do?" He said, "I don't know. I don't have a job." I said, "Okay, come see me." He came come see me on Monday. I told him what I was. I told him what I did. We did his resume, revamped his resume that Monday morning, and then he went to work for CUD, and he's working for CUD making 6 years. So them are things we do. I mean, even if you out of the Army, you don't have a job, you want to work, we'll help you. If you have any veterans that you know of, I've seen work. Next slide. And like that one thing right there says, go early, go often. That's what we do. Most of the time, people, it's 18. Commanders think 18 months. They're going to be low lose their soldiers for 18 months. That's not true. I see about 10 days out of that whole 18 months to get them everything they need. So they can still do their training. They still go to work. They still do all the other things. The only thing we say is don't have them work when they got to come to classes. Matter of fact, mandated by classes, when they're in class at their place of duty. And oh, by this way, the only ones who can get them out of the duty is me, and they got to call me in reference to, and it has to be a brigade commander or higher, offer that, or ask me, and they got to give me a reason, not just because they got to come down and open a motor pool or key the motor pool or something. Don't come out of class. And that's why I got my also director for the commanding general. He supports me on this total program. This is his program. Just remember, it's a commander's program that I facilitate for them. So just real quick on the program, how it goes. There's phases of the program. Way back when, before 2019, everybody went through the same program. It doesn't matter. We had a 5-day program that everybody went the same thing, everything. So when we finally got smart about that and said, this program ain't for everybody. Everybody don't need the same thing. For example, we call them tiers 1, 2, and 3. Tier 1 is a soldier who's kind of already knows what they want to do, kind of job maybe lined up, has a plan, a transition plan to get out the Army. But they're tier 1. They don't need all the whole program. They might not need a resume because they already got a job or whatever. So there's mandatory class they have to take, but they don't have to take the whole program like a whole week like we did before. And then we got tier level 2, which is a soldier who got some of his stuff together, but you don't have everything together, so he needs a little more of our help. And then the soldiers who are kind of tier 3, they need all of it. They don't have anything. They were the ones I was talking about earlier, probably goes back and re-enlisted because they don't have a plan, don't know what they're gonna do. Their families like going nuts and everything else. So they don't have no paycheck coming in. They're getting ready to get out the Army. And like I said, Brian can contest, or anybody who's in the military, when you transition out of the military, it's probably one of the stressful things I ever did. I didn't know what I was in the Army for 33 years. Who wanted me after 33 years in the Army? That's all I did. However, I tell all my soldiers now, trust me, they want you out there. But your skill sets, go to work, your ethics, everything you do, your skill sets, your leadership ability, all these things is what they want. And oh, by the way, most of the companies out there will train you on the job and pay you very well. So just let you know. Next. Just let you know that capstone is that's actually sensitive commanders. They got signed off saying they complete the program. That's the quality check for us is, and they got to have that before they get out of the Army and before they transfer out of my other piece, the transition piece. They got to have this all in the packet or they don't get the transfer out. And the unit has to make sure they get it before they go out the Army. So, these are the things that like I do and also our whole program does. I brief a lot of people, like I told you earlier, the division commander and sergeant major. I briefed one quarterly, the commanding general reported on his program. Matter of fact, on Monday, I'm briefing the division sergeant major on the program and where they're at. To tell you the truth, this month we did a big dip from last month. Last month we had the best in the Army, or best I've done since we've been here registered-wise. And about 75% of soldiers in the Army actually registered on Bliss, which is phenomenal. And I dropped it to 50%. That's how bad.
Darn you, Doug.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah, so that's going to be a big discussion come Monday with why that happened. I'm pretty sure I know why it happened, but we'll see what they say. But anyway, and like I said, kind of like this, we have officer professional development and non-commissioned officer professional development. I come and talk to the units to make sure they know what they're doing on the program. You'd be surprised when I go out there and talk to people about this program, and it's for every soldier. And I hate to say it, the leadership, sergeant majors, the commanders, the company commanders, first ones. I talk to them about the program. They don't have a clue what I'm talking about. It's their program. So that's why we get out there and talk. And I appreciate, like I said, letting me come talk to you guys for a few minutes here in reference to what we do for our soldiers. Just like you know, last year, Brian and Susan came to our expo. We had an expo in July. We had about 1,100 soldiers come to that. In May, we're going to have another one, and they're invited into it. And it's totally free. It don't cost any employers anything. I have usually 120 employers come to that, and usually about 3,000 to 5,000. So last year, because of COVID, it was kind of cut down. We had 1,100 last year, which it was still pretty good. That's where we, and also let you know on that same event, last year we had 240 jobs, jobs offered. So that's pretty good. And then we had something like, I think it was 1,300 resumes, follow-up resumes and calls and that stuff. So a lot of your soldiers get jobs there. Yes. And just let you know, Brian comes every Tuesday, 9 to 12. I have a career fair. He comes and actually talks about Lions Club and gets some members. And I think he's got a few members during that because we actually have our senior guys going through class 2 who's actually retiring out of there, which is perfect to come into the club too. So. Go back. Go forward. Maybe it might be the next one. Okay, go ahead. What I wanted to go to this next slide up for is we actually I did a survey of all soldiers coming through the program. I wanted to know what they wanted, what their careers after the army. So I put this up here, and you see up there our number one choice of law enforcement. That didn't surprise me. There's lots of soldiers trying to go in MP, not just MPs, but they want to go in law enforcement. But also the medical corps is another big one. Beaumont and everything else here. But with my heart, what's happening hard, if you guys can help me with this one, maybe healthcare is the problem we're having. Get a lot of healthcare providers and get soldiers into it. The reason I say that, there's so much, it takes so much training and time. And I'll talk about my career skills program in a minute, what I'm talking about in reference to healthcare. If you want to become an RN or LPN, it takes a lot of time in reference to school and college and all the other stuff. We have programs called career skills program that we do while Joe's soldier in active duty, but we only go about 180 days out and we can't get everything onto that. So healthcare, matter of fact, we just got another sergeant major we just retired out of healthcare is working for a healthcare committee. So hopefully he'll actually get my void in that area, which is kind of neat because he has a lot of clinics that he gives people to go and get clinics all around El Paso. So that could be a great asset for us. Anyway, this is what I talking about our career skills program. These are the ones I got at Fort Bliss right now. And also I got the 4 more working that I'm working on. What's not up there is underwater diving. We just met a company out in Phoenix, Arizona, and the soldiers are really coming in and talking about it. And I'm like, wow, you can get that online. Also, we got Chrysler Motor Company that they are also funding at CSP that pays soldiers tuition, so it don't cost soldiers anything. And it's a 12-week program going to Western Tech. And after they graduate from, it's a 12-week course, totally free to soldiers. After they get done with that, they go to work for Chrysler, starting at $25 an hour with as they go progressive. And also we got it's called Red, White, and Cool. What it is, an HVAC, big HVAC factories. I mean, the big HVACs, not the ones in your house or whatever, but actually the big ones. And it's a 3-week program. They're totally funding it all. It don't cost them anything. And go right to work for companies also for that. Every one of these programs, all my programs except 3 of them are totally free. 3 of them was here before when I first started here. Since I got here, almost every one of them I try to get free to soldiers because, as you know, most soldiers, or when you go to college, what happens to you? You get student loans. Most people don't get out of their student loans. They keep paying their student loans. So anyway, all mine are actually free except 3 of them. In Phoenix truck driving, which is you get your CDL, and right now there's about 500,000 jobs in the United States that are, as you can see in the newspaper right now, off the port of out in California, port up there, they got like 80 ships out there. Guess what? Phoenix truck drivers, a lot of them just get graduated, got hired, and they're on their way out there to help that now. So that's a great program. It's about $5,500 a cost. However, every company that hires the soldiers pays their tuition back to them in their paycheck. So they get that back. So it's very nice. HBI Home Building Institute, that's actually become a carpenter and also an electrician. And with that said, most of them get out of there and go into apprenticeship program. I don't know if you know Helmets to Hard House, the program here, that Helmets to Hard House. We actually line them up with that after they get out and they become an apprenticeship as soon as they get out. And then get 3 to 5 years, they become a journeyman. And actually become a journeyman, making a lot more, as you can see. So all them programs. And one thing, Army Emergency Relief, I don't know if you know what that is. This is actually an organization for Army. They actually came up, this just started. Fort Bliss is a pilot program, 1 of 3 in the Army, that they actually grant soldiers, if they come from other installations to Fort Bliss, they'll give them $1,000 to help them with their transportation. One thing in Fort Bliss I bring here, we do housing, actually working with the division. We got housing, so soldiers don't have to pay for housing or any of that type of stuff. So AER would help them with moving here, or actually their plane tickets or food or everything else, up to $1,000. If they need more, we ask them more, and it's a grant, it's not a loan, so they don't have to pay it back. If they're here at Fort Bliss, I'll give them $500 if they need tools, if they need uniform or whatever, while they're here. And if you're overseas, they'll give them up to $1,500 package. So there were some of the programs. Like I said, we even got it with FedEx, because they know it's a 12-week program. As soon as they graduate, after 12 weeks, they have right to work for FedEx as manager. So they're managing actually anywhere from 10 to 12. So I actually went out there and watched them do it. I couldn't do it because the boxes going in the paramedics and pushing back and forth. I couldn't do it because I'm watching, my eyes would go nuts. But anyways, them are some of our programs in reference to CSP programs here on Fort Bliss. I did every one of these programs. I have 100%, not 95, not 92, 100% job offers, every one. And most every one of them has anywhere from 5 to 10 job offers while they're in class. What's good about it, they try to put the soldiers, some soldiers want to sit here, some want to go there. So every one of these companies have everywhere in the United States they go to. So what they try to do is put them up as close as they can to where they want to go to. Now, if they're in a little town, like has like 500 or 600 people maybe, they probably don't have one, but they'll try to put them to the biggest cities close to that and get them to work. So right after they graduate, they get out of the Army on Friday, they go to work on Monday. Actually go to work.
This gentleman had a question.
Okay, sir. Career skills program. Career skills program. Yeah, career skills program. What it is, the Army lets soldiers while they're in active duty, not when they get out, while they're active duty, 108 days before they get out of the Army, can go into one of our programs. However, the Commander General and almost every commander, they're good for about 12 weeks. So all my programs are 12 weeks or under, because I want to make sure the soldiers get this, because a lot of commanders don't want to lose their soldiers for 180 days, 6 months before they get out, because they've still got readiness, all that, but they will go 12 weeks, usually about 12 weeks. So just like, that's kind of why my 12 weeks, even though the Army says they start at 180 days, but also you got to look at your commander and what they can support, because remember, if they don't sign up for it, they won't be able to come. So the commanders have to sign and let them go, and that's their appointed place of duty and accountability. However, they're on active duty. So the Army is paying for them to get a skill set so they get a job before they get out and take care of their family. And also, just let you know, my secure skills program, by regulation, is transition service members priority. However, if there's a student seat available in any of the classes, I let spouses, family members, other veterans go to these programs, retirees up there. Matter of fact, being a truck driver is really good about it. Matter of fact, soldier retiring, sergeant class, his son didn't have a job, he said this way, house per day, he said, sitting on there. They went to school together and they're driving together now, making double. That type of thing. So just let you know, them are things we're doing to help our transition service members. Family members also always include spouses. As you know, transition spouses, when they transition to El Paso, we're working to get them jobs also. A lot of times, because they don't speak Spanish or bilingual, they have an issue with that. But actually, a lot of companies now are actually hiring more and more of the spouses because they know what they're doing. Here's all our contact information. You like that? And any questions answered. I just appreciate giving my time to talk about this program. I'm very passionate about this program. I really like this program because the Army is doing great things. Yes, sir. Yes. Well, basically, a lot of them have records, so they don't qualify for it. I hate to say that. They have different records and also age group, but I mean, that's 3% of the whole population. Think about that. Qualifies for that. And a lot of them because they're records. A lot of them have criminal records and everything else. How about that too? Now things that maybe they can come in with it, maybe not. And also a lot of soldiers, I hate to say it, will don't say the truth on their paperwork, and when that finds out, they'll get discharged out of the Army if they get caught up with it. Yes, sir.
What happens when a soldier that is getting out of the Army has health issues? Do they still go through you, or is there a separate department that helps them get placed?
Oh, good question. Medical discharge also comes in. Matter of fact, a lot of medical, because it takes so long sometimes for medical, and as soon as they find out they're medical, like I tell everybody, if you get an early release, I said early release or involuntary separated, which is a chapter, a medical, family care plan, PT, or whatever they get out for, come see us right away because we need them one in the program. So yes, they'll go through the whole program also. And one thing about the early release, if they don't come early enough to us, a lot of times their paperwork gets processed and they might have 3 to 5 days to get out of the Army. So that's why they got to come to us right away to find out if they can get early release out of the Army. Yes.
So to be able to get into some of these programs, do you need a certain amount of years in service to be able to provide to get into some of these programs?
No, ma'am. Actually, all you have to do is have in the program in reference 180 days back to if you get released early. Now it goes back to the commander if he lets them go, because usually if you get out before time 3 or 4 years, you're probably getting out probably on a disciplinary problem or whatever. So commanders can not let them go to that in reference to. One thing you got to have is when you go to these programs, one thing you have to have general discharge under provision or on discharge. 1 or 2. You can't have something else. If you have a dishonorable discharge, you don't qualify for it. Yeah, answer your question, hopefully. Okay. Yes, sir.
You said you're only 30%,
No, 16%.
16%. And the rest go to honestly in Texas, or you have to stay with this?
All of that. A lot of soldiers go to Houston, Dallas, San Antonio because the job market is better, and that. But also they go everywhere. But a lot stay in Texas. Yeah. But El Paso, just like I said, because of the job market, and it's starting to get better. But that's the main reason.
I really appreciate your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
When the Elizabeth Crocker makes that you do. We appreciate it. Oh, you really helped out a lot of people. I know my dad, when he was in the service, he didn't know what to do. He needed you at that time, so you're a very valuable service.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yes, appreciate you coming. So, next week's presentation, I think, Brian, you have.
So next week we will have a yoga instructor here who is trained in special yogas, so she can train. She does cancer patients. She does elderly people. She works with children. She can do a lot of different types of yoga, and she's going to come and talk about what she does. And yes, you can. You can. Sure, certainly.
Number 802. 802. All right.
He's gonna take the wine.
Eight zero eight. 808. Thank you. 791. 791.
That's me.
All right. Ready to come. 799. 799. There we go. It's a winner.
Time.
810. Hey, he always wins. All right, thanks for coming. 812. 812. Mike again.
That's mine.
All right.
Lucky day. What else is there? What is it?
A craft. Your coffee time. Oh, your margarita cold. Okay, then, if there's nothing else, little Lionism, we stand adjourned.
Very nice.
And anybody from home, thanks for coming from home.
Brian,
Yes, sir.
so the meeting next week is at Monte Vista?
Monte Vista, yes.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
All righty.
Bring your yoga pants, Mark.
I can do that. I have them.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you.
All right. Bye, Giovanni.